Hello, this is a bit embarrassing because I keep making videos that's like, Ramblings is coming back, and then I don't post anything for weeks. Several reasons for this. We're going to talk about the reasons, and then I'm going to show you some cool things, and then really and truly, Ramblings is coming back. So I was moving, as you know, and I kept leaving. I moved into London and then I kept leaving London, like every weekend and sometimes for weeks at a time with business trips and things. So the traveling is not conducive, to sitting down and rambling, even though I know I should. It's also, starting PhD is interesting in that you're really owning your own time, and so there will be days and days when I have nothing scheduled and I'm just supposed to be reading and writing. And we're working on the whole read and write during those days instead of Netflix binge. Because it's really easy to just, I will watch all of a show right now. I get that from my brother. It's not my fault. It's probably a little my fault. Anyway, but of course, Ramblings was started one summer when I was virtually unscheduled in order to help me deal with the fact that I was unscheduled and make me think about intellectual things. So it's November. It's been a month. Like, no. Like, obviously, I actually have to start a PhD at some point. I have done some work. Don't panic. But so here we go. Ramblings, accountability tool, here we go. I'm gonna actually use my brain at some point in here instead of just watching superhero movies. But they're so good. Anyway, and then the other things is that I've been doing a lot of things which are relevant to my PhD, but not directly my PhD, which are kind of cool community activism projects that have eaten up some time. But I want to share those with you. And so for our first two Ramblings episodes, coming back, we're actually going to guest video into the playlist, and I'll introduce the thing before and then, like on the Ramblings playlist, I can add other people's videos. YouTube's a magical place, and then I'll also link to the video below, so hopefully everyone is able to see it easily, because these are two really cool things. So firstly, I have gotten back to London after my first trip to the Gulf. I went to Kuwait, and it was really super cool. I was there for about a week with the Kuwait dive team, who are a group of volunteers who work to preserve Kuwait's marine environment in particular, by scuba diving, that's the name, mostly, and salvaging rubbish from the coral reefs, and we're talking like whole boats, entire, like boats. Really, really cool things. So while I was there, I scuba dived for the first time, I drove a boat, I explored a sunken shipwreck, I picked up rubbish, I worked with almost 200 Kuwaiti school kids on a beach cleanup and like environmental education day. All kinds of really cool things. I practiced my very excessively mediocre Arabic. It was all grand. So that was really fun. And I went there at the dive team's invitation to learn about their projects and write actually a book on them in English. Lots of photos, so I'm not writing like a full, like, I don't know, 200,000 word, volume or anything. But to share their story with the West, many of you. So to try and show good stuff that's happening in the Gulf around the environment and around community organizing and that kind of thing. So I could ramble more on it, but I'm still processing and working on what I'm going to say in the book. So in the meantime, I wanted to give a shout out to Dari, who introduced me to the dive team. Dari and I met at AMENS, the American Middle East Network for Dialogue at Stanford, which is a conference and a dialogue platform that is just a massive, really cool network of change agents all across the Middle East and North Africa, and into Central Asia a bit too, who are working on all kinds of social change and enterprise, and they're really, really cool people. And Dari and I were delegates the same year, and he spoke about the dive team, because this conference ends with everyone giving a TED-style talk about what they're doing, which I think I linked to ages back. Maybe. I think I did. Whatever. Anywho, yeah, so I want to introduce Dari's video to you and have him tell you a little bit more about the Kuwait dive team. And of course, eventually there will be a book that you can get that tells you all about it. And in the meantime, Kuwait was fantastic, and Ramblings is back for real.